By then, Louis Kakadang, Wachija live man, Louis Kakadang share. Hello, everyone. This is Rumbek TV broadcast, and it's me, David Noborchada. Madin Wadamaniel, Vilacholo Dud. We are here today to discuss the topic of corruption. Corruption, like it's on the screen now, what contributing factors. But before we start on our topic, as we wait for people who can contribute, who can share, we will do something new. We will do what is called tongue twisters, and we'll do them in Tongwanyang. Kayen, 1, 2, 3. And be a start man. One of them, one of the tongue twisters, Tongwanyang, one, Rumbe, Ayelwell, Anabaragot, Balagwarakway, man atul. Anabaragot, Balagwarakway, man atul. Kayen, Abajalwell slowly, Kanglwell map. Kabajal drag any speed. But really, Diak.
Okay.
Okay. Engabula next after me.
Better repeat that because I can't ping. I'm not familiar with it.
Anna Baragot, a god can hear team.
Yeah.
Anna Baragot, Balagwarakway, Kwaya kind of low.
Yeah.
Man atul area to Rumbek.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Well, Anna Baragot, Sanjubo, well, man.
Yeah. Anna
Baragot, Balagwarakway, man atul. Okay, Yakadaya. Anna Baragod Balagwarakway, man atul, and a Baragod Balagwarakway, man atul, and a Baragod Balagwarakway, man atul, Baragod Balagwarakway, man atul, Baragod Balagwarakway, man atul.
Oh my goodness.
Anabaragod man atul, Anabaragod man atul, Anabaragod man atul, Anabaragod man atul.
Oh my God, Anabaragod man atul, Anabarag. Yeah, my turn.
Yeah,
your turn. Ready.
All right, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul. Oh my God, that's my fastest.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we will have another round, and then we go on to the topic. Okay. Now I am going. Ana Baragod Balagwarakway man atul, Baragod Balagwarakway man atul, Baragod Balagwarakway man atul, Baragod Balagwarakway man atul.
Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod.
Oh wow! Okay, I think you guys take the trophy.
Okay.
All right.
Have a go now.
Okay, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul, Anabaragod Balagwarakway man atul.
That's good. That's good. Really good.
All right.
God. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That is great.
Now, I forgot all of them. I can't more than Benzato.
Yeah.
My mother used to teach us one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yen abugyal tem gonna be a part of ways Pano can do exercise, voice exercise and
yeah,
and for viewers. Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. It's very nice.
Yeah. Let me just get stuck into the topic. The topic of corruption. Of course, in our country and in the world, corruption is a problem. But there are factors, different factors that contribute to it. And according to some Kawayat organizations, our country, our home country, our first country, South Sudan, is ranked as the second most corrupt. Yeah, last year, the second most corrupt country in the world, after Somalia. If some people might know this information. So, what is it? Why is our country in that place? Is it because we are bad people? What is it? The way I see it, there are cultural aspects of it, because our people think the government money doesn't belong to anyone. Some people think like that, you know. So they find it very easy to use the government money, the public money, for their own interests. That is part of the cultural or understanding part. Another part of cultural factor is that we have dependency. You know, dependency. If you are a boss, if you have a big position in the government, you will be responsible for a lot of people. Your house will be full of a lot of people, and you are like tested. You know, you are like tempted to take the government money, which is actually legally it's like stealing. You see, just to support your load, your family or big family load. You have nowhere to feed all these people. So that is another cultural aspect. Another thing is the lack of institutions of transparency, institutions that question how people in the position of responsibility handle public money. You know, so that is lack or weakness of public institutions. That is another factor that make it more tempting to misuse the public money. Another thing is to do also with tribalism, because combined with the dependency, you have a lot of dependents around, and you are supporting them. If the organization or institution that asks people how they handle the public money, if you get in trouble and they get you, like put you in jail or something like that, your dependent people will defend you, and they will say this is like politically motivated, and they will not accept their own to be held responsible. So that is the tribal and cultural aspect of corruption. So it is a combination of a lot of factors that contribute to the state of transparency and the state of corruption in our society. So now I will stop here, and I will pass the mic to Cholok.
I think another chance about can you expert who I think you will better break it down, and then I will participate in the discussion. I feel more comfortable that way.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a problem. First thing in discussion loy to Mwangyang or English or
Mix.
what do you want?
Yeah, let's mix. Yeah, because
Lingo.
always we are multi-language. Yeah.
Lingo, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What I would like to thank you, David Mugokadar, from Big TV, our viewers worldwide. Cholok Dut, also I'd like to thank you for your coming, although you are a bit busy, but that's good also. Before I start with this topic of corruption and what contributing factors, is a very vast topic and may take us longer, but I will talk only about what David Mabur had mentioned about the role of the cultural role of corruption. I presented a paper 5 years ago, called Sudanese Democratic Forum at Sydney 10. I presented a paper about corruption. And it was really a big paper, discussion indeed. But I will touch some few things before we go to how the culture become the contribution, the cultural part of it. Corruption, is a phenomenon, is a social phenomenon. That job, the but then we are contributing factors, we are contributing the corruption. In an I valid points. But the lane yoke, corruption is developing with the development of the human needs.
Yeah.
Because our needs are determine our direction in our life. Ini banang panpa, ini banang tukulpa, ini betiga ting, ini banang kakabana contributing the peer day. But where are the means to support Kilkakaban? This is where the issues are being. And if we go back a bit, a Shambutinka walk, and we can law in the peer day, a Shambugai at that level, especially, or quite the payment.
Yeah.
I chicken panto, I can dollar to be immune from corruption opinion.
Yeah.
For example, all the time in Australia, corruption is costing us $1.7 billion a year last year.
Yeah.
Corruption, $6.7 billion in corruption cost in Australia. It big number and more than trillion. And corruption, you can big number. Now, Ben Betting Akal. Cake type of corruption sector. Can I check well? Red jog anong corruption which is the buah kumanya. Anong ratio of bribery be riopto. Isang benang kickback benang project ba release ba pull ba year that. Yeah, kickback loy. Kaka I major things at loy. A long corruption on a lack of good. But also in corruption, it's a really get to content. Moral corruption. In which masala the way you come up to be a mudir or the wazir shan became loy, you can relation again, a shan boy is exploitation, is exploiting that weaknesses of some people within the community or within the society. Allah you get no mohaba and baran, knechal well and although you have qualification, but because in in that position, actually you a part of your responsibility. Although not qualified than him, boy. For a lawyer man, be around finding a minister, Kalatin Bian was Arab way given. But I way given. take the directors ku jalai Kochi secretary ku the office manager the kanya ban ko di kebe koi be kebe ka che koi be kebe as kafa or koi bi hizbe or koi bi mo be abi alo ku yo ka koi no connection ke because an ku bi high detent ku bi ni shankri chen koi kebe no ku de bi seal bi ga lo ke koi ke ni trusted them pa era dio era lo era di kirkana which is affecting us affecting us in different way but the laying your bend the main reason I think when it create revolting it and a concept pain kichol pain that concept unang kikala kuma gila pain unang concept kadi lora kadi which are contributing to the corruption you know the reality taban is bitter reality bukluel but we have to we work or analysts buga touching factors from grassroots. Lano teaching grassroots factors. Why did dependency era law? E ko ben bi yet ko bi bari ke ba ko ay go de ke ba masula ke kriban. Oganon to communities or society it could take hero. Oganon the village society and quite there and monjang. Oganon culture ran mayuong culture ran mayuong although sometime in Labaradiok I think it okay like in the Balawut un power un paned un colore tintin about the cha ko cham tinga quella yap ko power quella you war ko bala gorri griban ko yin chin no mo wong da yin mi chen ko pi ke le bi ti yung chama kan ko pi that's acceptable in that communal society and I can create an HCR. But can we blue paint? Is the question here. Can we take that culture, the cattle culture, we introduce pain, masana when would about the pain, unikin law, we move forward to Galacam cooking by, what could we even cook the lead, Timo, Kuyo mobile, Kuyake, even Pia Hooker. Is it affordable? Nangan would not? Can he afford it? This is the question. Where are the resources? Resources now we buy to IBK, Galabana Gage, or Ali Kia Kalibao Mugano resources Kalibaka Yumaja, Yap, you don't need to pay for it. Or the Bala Wako, Bala Gorlake, you don't need to pay for it. Well, the Chagam for Nakakuncha poor by being near Kakun because all get a bag, would it know, big like Makwanga, but when a child would my para. Yeah, but pain ran the pain can and may I don't. And this may and the way in design I open cover, open cover and but a key design in a way that can get economic. And may I get damale. 10 scale can get damale, 10 scale damale, you know, a jar or no pipe and we know with good out fully in on Jan, we know. To I can on Talim Mitku, indication Mitku, Kakaban, I think incorporate them may have damage. Lay by bed from one young, well, quite right, Gabia Benadi. They're not part of that beggy in Kiakuma Loy by Adam, they're not part of it. I can consider thing. For here, you may look for another source in Irania and Masulake to support them. Nike Loy got you responsibility to do a Kailo because in a period thing. Ma whereby to who's that by two on and talk. You have to pay me back. But this contradiction is challenging to now walk on out the pain. Another factor, which is I think also is very important, is the factor wobo to kuli kedi, wobo pain kedi. Why we tapir why do we move your pain? Wobo won't quack pain, well When British come to rule Sudan, ake koi baby bana lui yi kutaba koi bana got yi clerk kujala yi accountants koi ke I be from Egypt kujala yi Syria ku anko some from Britain, but it was very costly ke big koi ke big sustain lana me adene bani yeke randa dum which is equivalent there for Britain to the bundle monthly something equivalent to 2,000 pounds or 1,000 pounds, which is a lot of money. Ku economic the Mustam cannot sustain that. The thing local to ma quite local people can lumkum you can local non buying boom with them buka point. Ashan we look at clock buka don't work, and then we can sustain our system. Kupal kukoye kube from Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, we love from Britain, I costly. That was the concept. Actually, Mushia Kibu Poch. There was economic part of it and political part of it.
Yeah.
Then actually obey pain. And there was a resistance from side Kaikwa, immediately Kibika pain. Being real Kibalatin, we are imposing non-binding that can contribute to the pain. But buying actually company bear pain, when a Kaka grow a bank, or Kaka follow friends, you name a gal, no Kaki can bear pain. When Kibika bear pain, because they start to take some responsibilities. Goranaban go gag, little pain can look in for the thing. Chidaman Nagaman, you are a man like you now watch radio, you now watch Agala, you know, idea can echo, I love pain, like you shadow, in a lay a cocoon of a jam, kapot pain in a taken, serious mom, when a couple can period war. For Anban here, okay, the pain that cannot source with an income, money and money exactly can just source the income to Nongan. That is where the concept of pain. Not because of Abu pain for the sake of Shabuban for you, but the concept itself is to support our families back in the village. And then when we came to Joku education, Kunija Loy, Kujala Luin, I don't do right even the village expecting from you to help him because in the suburb he had all the pain. Therefore, we coordinate a pain, Ogagata in conflict of interculture. How we maintain red and pain or quite pain, how we externalize this system, if you disconnect yourself, okay, you can social problem. If you connect yourself, okay, because means ready. Therefore, Ogachi Jata Nakidem Chol Ben Matraga was in that, which is hammer and what do you call it in English? Hammer and something else. Yeah, yani yin in the challenge in a Jata challenge ten and on to the Eran you Gwang a Louis Yig a Yuang Yuang Ransot and on to the Mook, Kujokate Tao Katenum, Gala you Wajatatin, Kintlane Baiting. You restricted. You can't move out from it because you get their right, and they have a right to think like that because that's the reason. But what change in this concept? These are the challenges. For once, you need to support them. One of the major things Manaran Akele will be addressed is economic satisfaction. Because need Manaran are increasing. The more you have family, the more your needs are increasing. The more you need to have different things. The scarcity of all these things live then could not then and I keep it. I'll be put better than other ways being current pressure from your wife, pressure from your children, pressure from your brothers, pressure from the another bigger contributing in Balova Bakakuma bin Kerian. Fai Emuraloy at the end, Lenang country now weak institution, Pandan, South Sudan and other countries, is vulnerable to corruption, be increasing a lot, Kubuguru Yakuma, Bichira Nongome. And I would make a very funny remark. Actually, one of my friend who could time, and actually Louis Zamantin called with group of consultants. We were in Warab State, who actually teacher Kajuk. And I will not mention the name of the governor. But governor to Yogi in Chuk. Kon ang listen na kay dom. Aram I chore na liya o halas kit in hitembe. We don't know where kabila to. And then we could have done loy in governor kana a friend Anyi Kenya Kege head of our consultant which was in Kenya. A professor Nangwe, Minister of Health, Minister of Cooperatives. We actually get I just ben look do hotel ite kuraja gamadi ngale no professor. Ina da chola no ngi temwe. Jam we got no big problem. Dala kuno kira lo jam really big problem yale no. I jam like they don't know what is belong to government and what is belong to individuals. This line of demarcation to conquer ni gal like bakang nam stability. Because kaka kuma binga lum and this is practice of which man. Nyai latin banyai ada kuma kaya rabia kuma kuyi kaga tabai TV kuma na tabai apa naji kalau ini minister wala ini jalan aku ini kita jodoh kaka dola. But can akia culture is now become a culture which is a yogi cry and loy. Even the people that support you quite because you get hagro. But now corruption now is developing from just the corruption to become a culture, embedded in our mind and our thought become a culture. And it become very hard to because to Kenya position. Which include alone kalele ya kienza to ke dagis ka kera no kinyi ya ti ene ki chance yo ga ka ki banlo kera ko on the chukun ga in the level because yeah because ka ba na ki in Kenya and then in the level mo probi ye credit and you think it the paradox in this equation here and corrupt kana and the galatin ba we ku ne ki galum we ya bara mochin ku you look up for them we nga you a coin but in reality these are your money these are your own money ka ke lum your card yegi ku in ka jamo nga exactly he's not a businessman chambula kana business che we let no favor he is a minister or a director where did he get the money la no salary no wages at all that salary they no le dar ke ko jamo ikirana kana ba ti. And more than that, a big head could be point, could be allergic in society, when they lodge within that society. See the paradox here. This will give him that spirit to take more money because it's normal. The society is happy with what he's doing. But you're going to create that, why should I continue to do it? Yeah, exactly. Gano ki suspended if you implement it, gano ki suspended the kilui. I gano random ten kin le mugan kan ya ma killing I can do can wear, killing I can do can wear. It is suspended gano and people by your 2 weeks. When you hire Mura Lloyd, we could and this will be my last point Banjamtin before my banchola the floor. The consequences. There come consequences. The consequences are already of corruption. And on social consequences, in which that community nature Japan train quite around Latin BBR community because you're not in a position. You create industry. I'm sorry to say that, but you create prostitution industry where people they will practice that because you are not creating jobs for them, but I will be a call your hotel to will be a call your I get to go you are creating another industry,
social corruption.
Social corruption, which is immoral. And that could be a deity I can 20 public you no ka di ar ka pin za til batwang and then le bato painting en ki kin lo le bato man ki di za le kin wum ko le bla man te shara ipak and could be a problem to society mustaqbal. And now a European man ke man human trafficking and na ko je in a crime ko ja jot because of the ruby ka ya dan ko because the law ke business and then the people making money out of it. Don't be wondering one time with brother even by pana na run out the business that will be the come him and he make money out of it because the society is going towards that direction.
Morally corrupt.
Which is unfortunate.
Mm.
It will avail economically. Economically, this money corruption. For example, kickback. The Chilaka, Lele and Medina, Querloy. You get 10%, you get 10%. This contractor, I can naive, which is stupid, it will end it on that contract in another way. Therefore, the nation is losing money, they using services, community health, education, water, sanitation, development roads and other things. You're depriving your own citizen from services, including yourself, corruption, and you don't think about it. The third aspect of it, consequence, is political instability, political unrest. Because the corruption away in the society, some societies and some groups within the societies are already okay. And a cake a can take okay, you can the gaying a kachamba, being a kachamba, render the po, kulum down with the Taurus and Bila Benzat could be char, could be a part of it. And then continue and this is happening. And we could see him back in our country, Nagila role, and Nagila Benta, both Prime Minister or something back at which because you radio Halangala part in the Kegnan and Chamin Gala part of it. But and political consequences in corruption here, which may lead to instability. And the worst part of it is a loss of trust. The international investors actually began investment in a corrupt country because they don't trust the system. And when they don't trust the system, we are losing chance of investors began by. And those investors, they create jobs for youth, for everyone, and that will contribute in economic in terms of services. For because of corruption, lease is available if you run Naya investor from Japan, Manbukan listed I think South Sudan. I'll think twice before Mabalaka working because here, how gonna cost me in corruption? Is it the healthy place Liban within the business? Investment. And therefore, we are draining our own nation from flow of investors or money from global markets covered now for investment. Although being there, and chances are rich for investment because it's a very important. Anything Sudan can only be going in the but because of those things, arrive by Pandakila Twin, Fagan and Akila more, but I will give chance to you. Go back by the twin, your analysis, and then I will come back and anything need my contribution I will do. But thank you to our viewers. Thank you to David Mabokada for inviting me today, tonight to others. Gala Inshallah Dudia, thank you very much for listening. And I will stop here.
I have a question. I have a question for you on this last point of foreign investment.
Yes.
Foreign investment, could you lie international organizations kind of list, whatever kind of list, Is it not part of an attempt from the world community, from the strong countries, powerful countries, just to exploit us through their loans, through whatever, all these kind of commitments. What do you think about that?
You are right. We cannot rule out the political elements of it.
Yeah.
There are two types of investment and loans. What I was trying to highlight much is about individuals, investors, not governments, not states giving us loans or investing.
Okay.
Because individual investors are coin away, coming to Australia and millionaires, and I'm quite investing in mining, and I'm quite investment in agriculture, in different aspects of life. Quite carefully be much to jam to you by corruption because they may lose their money, and then I'll be now ben quite the concept of loan itself. I myself I don't from me international monetary system. I don't encourage it. I don't like those loans because conditions can take your high conditions should be equal.
There are strings attached to it.
Exactly. And personally, economically, I don't encourage countries bigger embarking into that, taking loan from big houses, because conditions can the loan take political things, even also they can resources who under someone else control. And I will bring a very quick example about Kerala. أنا كان يشتغل الشركة الأمريكية Russia. That was in maybe 200 years ago and 150 years ago. Kega akuma America Russia then that time zaman the empire. Fa ai zaman le akuma America inja maka ka gorgo ke Russia condition shi ka ta kare le yadda shi bo ka baka chola Russia. Go Russia go America go ani kinu ba kai lakini wale boy yi Alaska. Yeah, boy pinch Alaska kana. Go president America go for minister of foreign affairs go jam government. Kuikata pinyi tinta no ka bikati. Ene tibe Alaska lena yiga America. Na Alaska shambala zati you have to go through Canada. Shambala Alaska. Lana tiokara more than 20 America. But now Alaska actually discovered one of the bigger reserve of oil in the world, one of the bigger reserve of gold, one of the bigger reserve of gas in the world. Now, you don't be surprised one day some African countries, I'll be China, because you weapon and you don't know what is it. But for and consequences thing. And I don't personally, I don't encourage the UNIC alone all these things from countries. Even it's much better like alone in private sector come to Bunuk personal and Bunuk idea Bunuk pretend number but rather than taking from governments because
from
mostly exactly. Yeah. You can go to arbitrary court of arbitrary, and then you'll be your 50 years or 30 years what it happened with the conditions which are acceptable. But they will put a pressure on you because of power. And what can you do? It'll be your sanction, it'll be kuma war, But there's a lot of things involved with that here. And you mentioned it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mading, for all your analysis and points. Now I will give the chance to Cholok.
Yeah. Thank you, David, and thank you, Mading, for the extensive coverage. I can break down, I think, to the minimalist points. Yeah, and I didn't know how to approach this because that it's a very big topic. And topic one, I feel it is sensitive. Even I think with your Jamok,
Very sensitive.
we're all feeling very personal about it because we are affected by this Madroria being in the diaspora. We are the ones suffering the most because of corruption. Kayan cover, and I've been ticking them off because I addressed already. So I was going to talk about the political impact that corruption has, and then touch on the economic impact. But Nyachane suggested Madinglo first because he has more of the background into it. Investment would have been the biggest thing, and I have a question for Mading later. Investment, and I will discuss that investment and corruption, and ways of approaching. Touching on the impact of corruption, I think morality, and I think it's the biggest topic, man, amongst our generation, how this corruption is affecting us, and how the society has become immoral, in terms of Kolora Juba, back home, because we are all attached to Panda in a way. We still have very deep roots back home, but a block because of that immoral nature chi corruption created. We don't know how to navigate that, considering in this society. We our understanding of corruption at man is they are called a label in the Western country, the white collar crimes. You know, a checky corruption already. They discuss it in, you know, been into sectors. So when they talk about corruption, they discuss it in that small sector. So it could be the financial institution, or, you know, the public money laundering. Tag it so that because even when the figure went to the 6.7 billion, it in Australia, and you know that was in Australia, I think, that figure. It's very daunting. So what they have done is they have broken it down into the sectors in which it occurs. So to us, we understand it from that aspect. But I appreciate the way she letting a breakdown. One of the biggest impact, I think, of corruption, and I think it's one of the things is the environmental disaster. If you look at Ring, I think it was 2 years ago, and it's still ongoing. Okay, the images emerged 2 years ago of the environmental impact of the oil the oil rigs spillage and the joint meeting painting. The photos that you see, it breaks your heart. And when you look into it, it didn't just happen. It happened. Why? It's because of corruption, because environmental policies are not being scrutinized, or probably not being implemented at all, you know. So that's what led to the disaster that is still ongoing up to now. Be about it, or whether they are putting that political aspect when she discussed putting family members who are not even qualified for the task to, and it's all due to this corruption. So the environmental impact is one of the things Chaman, I think, about it, and like, although among other impacts, the concept of women being abused, that's a human rights violation. Habits of a society, customs of a society, and again, if we talk about the custom, we talk about the dowry, and increase, because who is there to stop us, you know? Who is there to tell you can right by, you know, if it is not us among ourselves. Yeah. Otherwise, meet society, fabric society of marriage because me that because the end wong yal got $600-700 per cow. Afford it, So, and why is that? That is the root of corruption. It is. We have become
number
corrupt.
Of the cows. Yeah.
Number of the cows. Yeah. My price one, unimaginable. So traditions are right, and then as a result, the demographic of a society it gets segregated, and then society gets broken down into class. So first class, second class citizens, and then and that's exactly where we are at the moment. We have become that society, sadly. Now marriages are occurring in terms of interest. Why is that? Because in a good one where you talk to depend, you want to benefit, but you also, if you cannot provide, that person will be able to depend on themselves or their own relatives, who's a bit stronger than them to take care of them. So all those things, and if you I will not repeat, but I just had a question for Mading. Among young people in Australia who are into business at the moment, because almost 20 years now in this country, so they are looking. These young people are working and they're earning, but direction, because Australia can actually chopping already. So whatever it is, there's nothing you can do here, and this is just my view, but I feel like I think level when they can attend it different. Everything has been done. So if you take the idea kuyada somewhere else, you prone to succeed more with it and flourish in terms of the business idea. So how do these young people, how can they navigate this concept of investing in an environment that is completely hostile and corrupt like this? What is your suggestion? How can they approach it, or what steps should they take before we can yab in a dangerous area like this? Because I know Portland and they want to help back home, but I feel kind of by, but these young people still have this. They want to go because otherwise they are stuck between this country, go back home, twing. So how can they navigate that environment with their intentions of investing in that society? I don't want to say that corrupt society, but yeah. So that is my question. I hope Banang answer.
Yeah,
we can't
back
hear.
to you, Madin.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ola. Thank you, David, and thanks to our viewers. This is very interesting topic, and I will start from some few points. Chola Kabemi, I'll talk a bit about them broadly before Mabana answering the question. Very young people who want to invest in our country, back home in their country. Yeah, the environment. How did the corruption end up contributing in environment, ecological problems? And we have seen the case study of Malut and Adar and Bentio in the northern Upper Nile and western Upper Nile. How did those areas have been polluted by oil companies, their activities, which are lacking international standards on environment protection.
Yeah.
Kichira lawyer on Tanya contract, Tanya Kuma, Sudan, by Ginuki Gwabenbe, Konongtong.
Mm.
Kuma Sudan was in need of money by all means. Who was ready to sign a contract.
Mm.
Those Malaysian and Chinese, like India's company, Talisman, on from Canada, like a low pressure. The South Sudanese, like I shares, Petronas, Malaysia. Kira loy, Akuma Sudan Guru is we don't care about environment because to be environment they are then they don't care. But yeah, go keep contract and go the time. And I've been keen about the contract and my experience about it. And for 9 years I included Qatar Petroleum. I included accountants who included different departments within the finance, including oil contracts, long finance. Which I think the environmental contract in the KKAN negotiated before even other oil aspect contract became negotiated. The safety of the oil activities, ecological system, communities around, and wildlife around, land. Many people don't know Riag Pink ecosystem Riag may take thousands of years to fix executive policy. In Tiobe Riag, the mic Riag, Riag to the extent actually you cannot benefit from it. Lanukula Putin that will be knock, the be some the be Saratan, the be 2020, and in Tiob that area. But we need to protect Kutiob one of the wealth, is the number one wealth. Be any other wealth. In other words, I subsidiary. But Tiob is number one thing. Because in the kind of move and the quite thing. For those contract actually now until negotiation law in Russia, those companies without those countries, IKEA, Kugila Kuma Sudan, IKEA contract, because you look at review. Even if you suggested Kadiak will the Tembika the contract can be getting like in, I can click be real about it, which can be mentioned about it. And John Garang was excluded from that cheating contract Katanya Kuma Sudan, China, Malaysia, as one of the conditions. And that take them 7 days in negotiation, Navasha, Akuma Sudan Yanka contract actually big a team. Because I'm not a team. One of them is environment. Those companies were environmental issues actually get taken seriously because the link on the production costs are high, the lane environment because you need to use machines which are more advanced, but big issues with that in South Sudan, the petrol because the processing crude oil it can process and you tube and I think we tube gas we come on actually storage open long you malut you like adar ayu ga ci ka bu le walpin pap kuna budeng bi jabor ba bor ben ku den ga jala beji kalkane ku joki toyi pa bi ya wat pa toyi bi reja nok ku didn't neck when a wong ku a lot of things lot regular cham in the yoke 2020 ku diara ku diet midman mit ko that diet ke chor mi that diet ke bi now we've gone on a real crisis in the country because of this corruption from the environment. And one thing's happened, which was the issue of Delta Niger of Nigeria, in which that King Sarawewa, it was a Goni land activist. Because a Goni land in Niger, one of the wealthiest oil field in Nigeria at the end in the Delta Niger. Then they are Goni land.
Yeah.
But she is spoiled, and quite rich. But the to even if they are not. Things are away quite kagadi go look at the term activists. I kill a thing called the revolution against people. For Shell, which is a British company, the oil, Royal Shell, Akibalatin Kuliga Kuma, Nigeria. I think was Babangida, Abraham Babangida was the president of Nigeria. Wabia pull out from Nigeria activities. Yeah, Wabia activities for Delta because we are going to Kwaya Dom, Kwaya Mashakil. Go Babangida, Yamaka, we're there. We are getting billions from you, where the Shell environment. They think good Americans, Sarawi, Wakai can get and excuse them, Kadam, Kunok. King Sarawi, one of the big writers in Africa, activists. Achiban Nok, and then Achiraban Lopinum. At the end, where Achikabanaliab, Shalakibana in New York, court case, I think compensating around $60 million Kibania and a foundation children to clean, and then the responsible become clean and that $60 million into Kulo, are going to land and the environmental issues you address. But it's one of the example how Libya nasty and this thing even you can lose your life because of this the gaming thing already. And in a country, South Sudan people, the government is desperate. We oil, Balatin back in Libya, not there, Libato, in the Balloon, which is King Sarah, because they don't care, they need money. But this show exactly in Chalab is a very dangerous thing. It already or go low already. Now they've been along Shabab be investment by. I don't want to discourage people actually investment by a wise thing, but it's like near child coach, yani queer court lang. Is it Baraja Wong? Kadi Nititi in chatting. You can announce some investments with a little amount of money. You don't need to start with that big ambition.
Yeah.
You start with something before they choked up subi. And start kakin involvement the typical thing. Or binang koi did called binang. By the way, even by and koi patin. By corruption. You may find very few people who can really help you. Even in some other areas, I think. And when you start bakikitin kanloy, they meet 10,000, 20,000, you can start with small projects locally. And Ali began empowering people, provide jobs for people in the Balutin market. And then you start, things will change in Burial as it is. It's a matter of time. But we don't know in Bukang for the better. But one day, until Bukang Mother, you start to expedite your investment. But I don't want to tell people don't invest back home. That is not a good concept. But it's still, even Shabab I don't chance it difficult investment at all. You just need small scale industries, investors at the time. Government can even empower you. Kakalaba can invest in Alibaba can now find it in South Sudan. You can do a lot of things. Yeah, there are so many areas. For example, Shabab, you can buy Kakidi Z from Malaysia, Iraqis. We can export it by South Sudan, be $50,000. You can start to invest. It will be much better, cheaper than the case of Malinia, because interest pay you can coin. In the Bala Pakistan, India, the gig, Kachidi rice. Alibaka exported back home. Abia reachable no kwani zaman kinen ding. Alibi kunanka store baketatin. Ulaka raja ma no more. Ni coin, and that's this such investment can involve a simple involvement in the government and be controlled already. Because it's simple and easy. It's just like trade, but the people that are in the market for time being until become run a big investment development. But in conclusion, that is what I can say. But some more remedies and while I get the mushkila is we can go by. There's so many things that we don't know. One of them institution we real. David Wig institution. We need to work very hard with team. judiciary is strong, anti-corruption is strong, all the institutions at all, check and balance at all. And then we don't want our people be caught between Hama and Inabel. Yeah, we don't want our people to be taken. Now freedom, quite do it. The remedies may take time, but I'll be quite cool. But we need to speak out as educated people. For example, people who actually but you tell them below, you encourage them below. Once bigger start below, they will know for the benefit and they can contribute also to their own families. But I'm not telling somebody you deter them out of no, that's not a good thing. But tell them this is what you can do. I can do this for you. Is a muscle China jam that I wouldn't do in summer, like in I live came see the summer. Yeah, exactly. But you know the case, the Shalabara and Yek think or living starting a business, so yeah, Tabalia will contribute to himself, he will contribute to family, Kupeloko discouragement and the winner will take this is not gonna work in a modern world. It will not gonna work at all. Ay lawyer by you in that lawyer. I forgot the you got a lawyer. You can correct the thing. Yeah, but we are no and when we take people are very lazy. People they don't want to work. At a buy. Yeah, and for example, maybe you buy now they like a lot about poor cockle. I'm a worker at a year and the Guru will be poor. Guru can I but why you will a poor comma poor coco, Dakaza, the Bayo will you coco Guru can. And you save this money. Encourage them below and pay them that. This is where you can create that. But we need to work hard on these things. And but I think that's exactly the highlight.
That's good.
Yeah. No, can you meet a little bit? We have reached 1 hour of our discussion. Maybe I should in this topic I should touch in many corners. For to participate. Kayen, I don't know. What do you think? Final comments. What do you think, Cholok and Wedding?
I think you covered to the best of our ability. I would just encourage that quite bejal thing and video can, if you have questions, write a comment under the video and then we will endeavor book answer in the future, or in the inbox, send a message in the inbox and be addressed, if possible.
That's right. Few examples. One point where will and one who are come and who are come and uncle. I am man, Kaike. You know, you can lose support, Kaike support Ben Akume. Well, you will a Kaike, but I am man one low corruption rate control. Kidene Jordan sick. And on kind of mentioned by name because it's a cry. And on Dandy Rachel in of Machuan. Masul. Bien, Eren Ganu Mukchok 100%. Garun Guru Yaki Mukchok 100%. And she never now my will Jan Quang Nimpa, Achiam, Kwachi, you can be a jump. When again, a good dollar, when a good system, quite chicken, I can quite a good system, okay. But when Chitkadan with yoga here, then Kadan Central Link. I can imagine. Central Link can the service can believe when I'm too well. Koyani and Ed Masul, Ben Central Link, Koyani in Pende. If I did, you got anything. Lakini mjinga kuirin that because system is good. You don't have to know his name. Most representing we don't know just because you a law and follow. Okay, men yendra to the altitude benping. Min yara to the altitude benping. En kidana jol policy, kidana jol ganun, and you bingo. Rabar jogging with Baran convinced Kajang, this is our policy. Kajang, this is our policy. The books in Pajanga, this is our policy. I can not hear one which you Baran convinced the king Wargang, bear. But that way, I engage your work and they are acquired, the document they are acquired, ever a baby corruption here. Ever a baby corruption in the document that end up like a liberal, you exactly back. Okay, one example. Kenya will buy a Louis, fire independent, bay. And our daddy jalk and one. Still up and there and up and Nile. Getting Ajam Ajani Jalak, you can use about the top, quite you ready. Shabab. Jaka, you read because Yaji and Father. Put it here by my scenery. Ajangale and Jabala Zatu could Jalkachin mile, a good girl could Jalazat, not Jala Maizato. Ajambajala regular bay, Rage Bakaja Bay by Big Japanese Cham. Canada, when did you Japanese Jangale and Betty Ogan? Don't really the Jangal Rankin. I should need a while a Jangar and Kinkachiraneta. A Jambardo Yane can be low by Nokiria by. And one in Masul and if I depend on it, can you have in Mukai I can be ping when wait. Villas in Mukai Barrio be big quite when wait. Quite cheerio. Kayan and Bow, Kajangal, what can win around Belarus with that is it. And what was your football will we ping 10 who can have? And will not. Yeah, you're quite a buy, I can look out, that's quite fine. Yeah. The problem there can I by we below, can will gal can go quite a while, who care. So, yeah, all these issues, these problems, culture at a already. Culture, I shall contribute into it too much. Culture done and culture dependency. You like culture and we can akuma be yego. Zatu akuma yakujala go kwa waka low pressure. Going to akuma tu ayakujala go. Lakini au waka low pressure. Au attempted. I would you get in by here. Turn up. Muy diarrhea under pressure.
Of course,
demands can cook it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could I compare the run corruption to Nankan? Yeah, in a little bit compare, okay. I'm not talking about my own family.
Yeah.
I look this is observation observing in the society, women or families for that matter, other family members, parents or whatever, I'll be around pressurized. We'll get indicate when on the low man, you can low corrupt to a lot already. Look at you, but you can color. Look at you, back and little punching and food, ketchup and getting. So, can one be very clean, Kashita under a lot of pressure. Can do Janga, where you went to a lot of now you could do. Chile John Gumulon, a Jangal Radban, Pandaka could be Jala Qualkin, Jali. So, Radban ready between because of these social and family pressures and so on. That is that were my last comments on your points. Yin cholok nan nong you Martin yin badi anong you Martin kalau bajal kujal tiogen show.
No, jinto belwel.
Yeah, and just few remarks to Vajatio. Yeah, no, we can really na leg quite by lag by a little you quite 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 hard work. If we use reverse logic, let us use reverse logic. But that will lose, but I can't lose. Because I'm doing everything for you free. And you are not contributing anything. Logically, and I'm not actually in a lot. Because I'm the one providing all this in free of charge to you. You said, that should not be the way they think. They should be encouraged because law in and I think Machoj is one of the cleanest administrators I have seen in my life and in South Sudan.
Example in our society was an example.
Yes. And the one I carried again for Gogreal, we are not in Korea though. My father and then I have to stay with him to school you can't talk in 70s. He's very restrict person, but his life is well organized. And one of the few intellectuals you're gonna queen. You read a queen. It's on time. You're gonna books can especially in this field. He developed a lot of administration of labor, which is late maturity. I do admire him and Barako always Last thing can I tell you about social security. In fact, if I tell maybe Cholak may be astonished, Nalwell, she may be astonished, maybe you're keeping before. Do you know in 1967-68 on social security of Sudan? The job Bandal Atala. Elo was in with Hindi and on social security. Playing Louis Shirkadi ki chop in a Lawazara Malia, can ke Charam Lotani, Nikicho be warga better do boy. Inakuma Yegmea, it was there. In 1967-68, the key sheriffs in Abdin Loy, which of Bandalatala, which is social security. Sudan, he didn't social security. But because Kochijabanuku military, Kugula instability, Mashaka, Kanaka thought that the central in Sudan in general. That concept in Sudan before. And then you could see even student benefits. Yani talaba on get jam Khartoum ake you Nasriyat. Yani come in student and use allowance
use allowance.
University keto on ke yeke 3 pound ke yeke. A good thing 80 still 3 pounds ke yeke masarif can ke dom talaba student universities. There was a system in Sudan. Here, Banaria was the corruption, the military coups and instability. Anyway, it's very good topic. It's a vast topic. I'm very happy. Thank you, Burkadar. What I suggest, and then I'll study Magur. Sometimes about the time different and I'm quite when you go there, Asia like a topic in law. Topic before book program then you start next week. We can answer them in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
To answer them. And then we go to our new program because time different. And then you quite interesting thing here we get here. We can cover them. We can cover them in 5 minutes. Exactly. Kaya nambuko again, kuya na for the Jamakal, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Ian, our show has come to a conclusion. Thank you all viewers, with panelists. Stay blessed and have a good Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Come back to me.